Chat is on. All right. Chat on. Wow, that's a delay. What is up, people? Anybody watching? Where's my coffee? Oh, anybody want to win this? That's what we're doing. Live drawing. Mike is making stuff. What's up? What are you making? You want to win a Festool Domino? I'm making a brisket right now. It's outside on my grill. It's going to be tasty. Got an 18, 19-pound brisket for the 4th. Oh, how's everyone's 4th of July going so far? So I just came across your man stuff just now. Oh, well, thanks. If you're a woodworker, that's what I do. I do a lot of woodworking stuff. I'm doing a raffle for this Festool Domino, both containers. Tickets are $17.76 each because it's July 4th and today's the drawing. So uh, I pinned a comment. You can check out there where to purchase your tickets, or you can send me the amount of each ticket directly to my PayPal or Venmo or CashApp. Yep, it's not sponsored. This is all me. I made a whole video on it. Basically, I bought two on accident instead of trying to send it back because the company I don't really the company's okay, I guess. They sell they sell a lot of stuff, but their shipping process stuff is like broken because I made my order and then there was like no response from them, no email, no nothing saying like order received, order processing, payment hasn't didn't go through. I kind of needed it, so then I went to Amazon. Like I canceled it. I hit cancel on my order. Went to Amazon, ordered it. Got it in 2 days, and thought everything was good. But then the company said order shipped, and then I got charged, and I was like, "What the fuck, man?" So yeah, and then the return date passed because I got busy, and then was like, well, instead of trying to return it to a company that already has broken systems, I'm just going to raffle it off and somebody else can win it. Figure might as well, do something good for somebody because it's an expensive tool. I have to look up your channel. You got a channel, Mike? Mike's making stuff. Do you have a channel, or you just that's just your name? And bad love for sure. Go really minimalist. Oh, okay. Hand tool guy. 1,000 subs. That's cool. I started this channel a long time ago. It was mostly military stuff when I was still active duty, and then I was monetized for a little while on their old standards, and then I got deployed to Afghanistan. I didn't do anything for a year. Came back from Afghanistan, back into a heavy training cycle, back out to Afghanistan, and so like between that time period, I didn't really post anything or have a lot of interactions, and so they demonetized me. And after this last few years, I've been trying to like do more stuff and put more videos out and try to get back into it. Now I'm retired, so I got the beard, but it's been good. I like doing this stuff, working for myself. Pop Pop's Workshop. Hey, what's up? 31 Charlie. I don't know what that is. I was a 68 whiskey. I was a combat medic. Well, my deployments were with infantry guys, so unfortunately, I got to do my job because a board medic is a sign of a good deployment. I mean, someone's getting really injured, but mine were not like that. Getting the grill ready. Oh yeah, I got my brisket on right now. Como. Okay. What you gonna grill there? Pop pops. Full time guard and reserved for drug interdictions. Oh, down in South America. Oh yeah, some crazy shit happened then. My uncle is in the Navy. He's in Como. Well, he was. He's retired now, but he did shore duty, and one of his shore duties, as whatever his job was doing communications in Como, he actually worked at the White House during President Clinton's term in office, and he would just show up randomly in Vegas, and we're like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Uncle Mike? What you doing? You here on business or pleasure?" And he's like, "Oh, business." We're like, "Oh, okay, cool. Can't ask questions?" He's like, "Nope, can't ask questions." Okay. We pretty much knew within like a couple weeks or so, like the president was probably going to come to Nellis Air Force Base because he was usually ahead of the presidents. So it was always interesting. Illustration, welcome. Burger, steak, chicken, sausage, and all the sides. Oh yeah. I'll show you what I got cooking. Hold on. Yeah, I got a funny story about my Uncle Mike. Let me show you my brisket. Don't mind the messy shop. I don't know how you can see that, but yeah, got my brisket. Lots of water pan. My brisket going. That's all the fat I trimmed off. Melting it down into some beef tallow. Put this on last night around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. No, it's probably like 9 o'clock. Oh, that's probably shaky as shit. What? I should probably see if I can tilt these. I'm gonna let this one. There we go. That should be better. Drawing is going to be at noon, so in like just less an hour and 45 minutes. I got all the names in that spinning wheel thingy that do pick the random person. Let's see. Mike is making stuff. Let's check out your channel. Mike is making stuff. Channel. subscribe. 905 subscribers. All right. Sell half a table? Oh. Just take it and cut it in half and then turn it into like one of those little half round tables with 3 legs. It's a good idea. A lot of entryway tables. Let's see. Can't see live chat on TV. There we go. That miter saw? Yeah. I've had that Hercules miter saw for, I'd say, going on probably 6-ish years now, and it's been a good miter saw. I have really no complaints as far as what it is and what it does. I love the shadow line. I don't think I'll ever get another saw that doesn't have a shadow line, and if it doesn't come with it, then I'm going to have to find a way to put one in. My only real complaint is just like every other sliding miter saw is the amount of space that you need in the back, especially when it's all the way slid to the back and I need to rotate it. Other than that, it's been a good saw. I've been looking at the what brand is it? The Hitachi with the rails in the front, and it has the shadow line as well. Not the laser. They got one that has laser, but this one's got the shadow. It's the 12-inch, and it's got the forward rails, kind of like how the Festool does, and I think the Makita is the same way. Tackle stupid myths you were told when you started that turned out to be total crap. Oh, that sounds interesting. Pull up my email, make sure I can track anybody that it's tickets, whether through the Give Butter site, which I only chose that because it's one of the few ones that I didn't have to put in like a EIN number or anything like that. I had to put my social in because they're gonna send me 1099 or something like that, but they charge the least as far as what they take out of each the amount of money that I make from there. PayPal, I gotta log into that. Yeah, just send that directly through the PayPal or the. I tried to change it the end date on there for the event, but I don't know what happened with it. It wouldn't let me. So CashApp, Venmo, or PayPal will work. I wonder if I can go in there and change it. Oh, Mike is making stuff. You got a 3D printer? How many people have 3D printers? A lot of people get them these days, and like, I don't have one. I've been kind of interested in maybe getting one, but I don't know. Good participation. I think I'm at I'm not barely at 50%. 48% of the goal. I don't know. I'm not. I guess I'm getting at the age where like learning new technology is kind of like hard. You know, like I tried to use SketchUp. SketchUp is so difficult to understand how to like make things. It's not. I don't think it's very user friendly. It's probably very engineer friendly, you know, for what they got to do. But for me, trying to use it, I need to just spend more time trying to use it. Thought about using like other programs, but I haven't really got into it. And then 3D printing, I I don't really have a use for it. Like I would, there's been a couple times where I wish I could 3D print something, but it's generally already available, so I can just support some other small maker and just purchase their product. Um, but I don't know. I don't really want to develop stuff to sell for 3D printing. You know, I'd rather just build stuff out of wood. I guess I don't know. Tinkercad. I haven't heard of that. There's a community college not too far from here, and they have an entire like 3D modeling class to help. I guess kind of like use SketchUp and then use that to be able to, or some of the other programs. Just anyway, it's all just CAD, and then they use that to come up with the vector files. I guess it was called for doing CNC and 3D printing. Thought about taking the class just to kind of become more familiar with it and the process and how to do it. So if I ever do get one in the future, like I know how to do it, but I just haven't doing it. I'm trying to get signed up with the community college and get a residential carpentry certification. So that way I'll have that under my belt. I'm trying to get if you any of you guys are vets, I'm trying to get VR&E to pay for it. It's like the GI Bill, but kind of separate. So I don't know how I can change the event stuff on here. I guess once you set it up, that's it. Where's that fan at? It's getting kind of warm in here. Yeah, the VA sucks sometimes. It's not the easiest. Reclaimed wood? Yeah, actually. Um, oh, send code. Yeah, trying to. All right, where is campaign? Yep. Okay. Let's do. Where is the end date? Huh. I don't, it doesn't, oh wait, let's see. Oh, when is it in? Okay, sweet. So I can get it. Let's do 4 p.m. at 11:45. Save. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this give butter thing to be able to. There, you should be able to still purchase tickets through Give Butter. I updated it, so let me know if that works or not. All right. Reclaimed wood or pallets. Hill illustrated. Yes, I have. Um, the only issue I've ever had with pallets is like not getting all the nails out. But having a little hand one metal detector would work. I don't have one. I just use a magnet sometimes. Um, I haven't really built a whole lot out of pallets. I've done a few things out of them when people want more like that rustic look. Um, when I want to do rustic look, but I don't want to use pine, then I like to use pallets, just because they're already rustic looking. Um, for the most part, though, I haven't been using pallets for a long time because I live around a whole bunch of Amish, and there's like little sawmills all over the place around here. Or if there was like a fallen down, if I had a big trailer, I could like pick up some fallen down trees that people have as given away for free as firewood and have them mill it. But I don't really want to store all that stuff in my yard just yet or on my shop driveway. I do have a stack of wood that I got from an auction, which I use that stack of wood a lot. The auction was like from some old like wood mill type things, and it's a whole bunch of wood, reclaimed wood from like barns and stuff like that. So it's all like antique wood. And so if I'm ever repairing an actual antique, I don't want to put new wood in there if I can help it. If I need something, if I need to recreate like a little shelf or a bracket or something, I go to my pile of antique wood, and then I use that antique wood that I already have to put into the antique, so that way it stays all as a true antique. If that makes any kind of sense. And I just think doing it that way just kind of helps to keep it authentic as an antique without having to add in any kind of new wood. So, oh, literally just started using comic. What's the best way to bond two pieces of plywood? A two spare 2 inch by 6 inch pieces of wood. You know, want to make a work table. How to should be 18. Really, if you're gonna laminate it, that's what it's called, laminating. Just spread a bunch of glue all over it, sandwich it together. If you don't have clamps, you can use screws. Just put a bunch of screws into it and like a grid pattern. And if you don't want the screws in there, you can take them out after the glue is dried. And that could be like on the underside, the bottom of your worktop, and that'll then you won't see the screws. If you're gonna do something like put in T-track, whatever, and you don't want to hit the screws, then you can either pre-plan where you want to put your T-track grid so you don't hit the screws, or just take all the screws out and then put your um, T-track in. That's about the easiest way I can think of. Or you could buy a ticket and use this amazing domino. I mean, I don't know how you would use a domino to laminate. You'd have to, I guess, put the dominoes that way and sandwich it in between. That'd be interesting. It wouldn't slide around on you once you got all that glue on there. That's for sure. Oh, so where are you guys from? I'm in a very small town called Fairview, Kentucky, which is just outside of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And we have a monument in our town that is a obelisk, just like at Washington, D.C., but this obelisk is for Jefferson Davis. So it's the Jefferson Davis Monument, and it is the one and only president of the Confederates, and that's the monument for him. So that's kind of where I live. There's always a bunch of people coming by, mostly a lot of people on motorcycles, so they're always out there taking pictures and stuff. And then all around us is all Amish as well, and Mennonites. I have like a cool little grocery store that's Mennonite owned, and so I get a lot of fruits and vegetables from there. All the Amish on my road too. Right now, they just planted a whole bunch of hemp, so it smells wonderful when I'm driving home or leaving home because it's all just growing out there. A couple acres. Well, actually, it's probably I'd say a good 20 acres worth of hemp. So that's kind of nice to smell if if you like that kind of stuff. Definitely helps with the PTSD, that's for sure. West Texas. I lived in Texas for um, 4 years in San Antonio. I was an AIT instructor for combat medics there. Uh, I enjoyed living there. I made a lot of friends. I loved my job, but I do not like the Texas heat at all. And I know like Kentucky, Tennessee heat here is comparable, but one year we were there and it was 92 degrees on Christmas, and I said, nope, I do not want to live here. I grew up in Las Vegas, so it's always hot there. It's just hot, less hot, super, super hot, and then hot like hell. And I don't want to be in that kind of constant heat all the time. I like where I live now. It's got all four seasons. There's trees. It's not desert. Um, the army sending me to deserts. I don't like deserts at all. Louisiana. My brother lives in Louisiana. He lives in Baton Rouge. Thanks, Chris Harder. You are definitely a big supporter of this. Appreciate everything, and same thing with Mike H. You two guys like pretty much. I guess have the most tickets. I wish YouTube would let the live streams be landscape instead of portrait mode on the phone. That would definitely help because I'm using my phone. I don't know why they don't let you the option. I guess if I had a different camera, but I don't have a fancy camera. Oh, you know what? I look. Oh, I'm losing internet. Oh shit! I was gonna. Oh, I don't know what I was gonna say. I gotta put that piece at. So one thing I've learned about the domino, or something that I'm gonna try to do in the future here, is the domino. Like when you do the mortises, it has three settings: small, like medium, large, which is like tight, loose, and then extra loose. Kind of like when you're doing biscuits, whatever, different sizes. But this is so that you can have wiggle room to go left and right. What I mean by that is it cuts different size mortises. So on the tight setting, it cuts it this wide, which is what, about 3/4 of an inch wide. And if you put it on the first loose setting, then it is like 15/16 wide. And then if you put it on the extra loose, the third setting, then it is an inch and an eighth wide. And so sometimes, you want like bigger mortises, or like you have bigger section of wood and you want to put a bigger mortise in there. And a lot of times people just use, like, they double up and use two. But why not just use one big one And so what I'm thinking about doing is, if I have pieces where I want to put two mortises in for, putting stuff together, I'm gonna cut the bigger one and make my own, because I got a bunch of router bits, to be able to make my own dominoes. And it actually has it'll cut the grooves for the glue. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. So I can make long sticks out of all my scrap and then just cut them as I need, which is also nice too, because the dominoes themselves, like, they have specific lengths. Like, this size is it's all in metric too, but this is 5 by 30. But the domino can cut up to, was it 25, 28? It cut up to 28 mils deep. But if I want a 5 mil thickness domino, that's half that distance. They don't have any, so now I can make my own dominoes. I hope this is all making sense. I can make my own dominoes and make them as long as I want, so I can have this thin ones, but make them extra long. If I know that that joint is going to be, if there's going to be a lot of pressure on that joint, then it'll have a longer tenon inside there. To kind of help give it more strength. At least that's what I hope. But yeah, I got these on Find Buy Tool. I don't remember how much they cost. I think they're like $100, but it comes with the different domino router bits. So, I mean, you can easily do it just a regular round over bit, but these ones have the grooves for the glue, so that's kind of why I got them. But yeah, whoever wins this, definitely would recommend, watching some videos on people using it. It's not very difficult to use at all. And I'll show you something else on mine. So the domino, in order to set the height for this part, I put this out here, get that out of the way. So in order to adjust the height, it lands on this block right here. See a little corner piece that lands on the block, and then you move this to adjust how tall you want it, so you can get it in the middle of your workpiece. Well, it's a German tool, so it's all in millimeters. So if you go online on like Amazon, you can get one that is 3D printed, or if you have a 3D printer yourself. But this one is got Imperial or Freedom units, and the metric as well. So that's been very helpful for me. And then you just read on this side of the line. So that'd be something good to purchase, whoever wins. So this is everything that comes in the domino. You get the domino itself. Get a power cord. Comes with this extra support that you put on, and this is so when you're doing. Let me get this wood. Where'd that little block go? So if you want to cut a mortise in here, and you have a whole bunch of these, like you're doing cabinets, rails and styles and rails, whatever. You need to put it in here, then you can just adjust this to the width of this, and then you can just, you just plunge into it each time. So that's what this is for. And then this is an extra support that screws onto the base. So you have an extra additional support, which is very useful if you're doing plunging this way on the domino, trying to get them in. Like when you're doing, if you're putting in non-adjustable shelves or something like that on a case, cabinet case or anything like that, you can do it that way. The domino has these little tabs that are used for referencing. So you put your material, and once you hit it, it'll be the same every single time. That's what that's for. And then on this, it also has some other ones that are set at different intervals. So that's what that's for. Then you got these things that you also screw on, and you can set the distance, and it's like to do a repetitive one. So if you have a whole bunch of mortises, like say you're joining two long pieces of wood, like you're doing like a tabletop, which you got like 8 feet, and you want to make sure that your dominoes are evenly spaced, then you just do one, and then you set the distance on these, and then the pin will fall into the edge of the mortise, and then you just plunge and do your next mortise. Then you take it out, you slide it down to the next one, and that way you get the same even spacing all the way throughout the entire length of the board. So that's what these are for. I have yet to use a lot of these attachments that come with this, but I understand their purpose. It also comes with extra brushes. Has the wrench to change out the bits, and there is storage for the extra bits. That's power cord, and then whoever wins this, you got the warranty guide right here, which also has the serial number for the unit itself, which I have not input at all. I have my serial number, but in order to get the 3-year warranty, you have to have a receipt of purchase, and that's in here, and that will give you the order number from the person that you bought it, because they're all like licensed dealers. So you have to use their name and then that order number and all that stuff, and then you'll be able to get the 3-year warranty. So that way, if something happens to it, you'll be covered. So that'll all be in there. But yeah, that's the Domino. It's a wonderful machine. Like I said, if you want a chance to win it, you can go to the pinned comment there and purchase a ticket, or you can send it directly to my Venmo, CashApp, or PayPal. And tickets are $17.76 because it's July 4th. I think my TV is delayed. Oh yeah, it is. Thanks, Mike. Trying to help people get it going. Let's see, who else is in here? I don't do live very often, so I don't get to. I don't know how I can see how many people are viewing. Oh, I don't really got to mind the grill. It's a. It's a. I'll show you. I don't like propane, and I don't. Pellet grills are nice because pellet grills you can set it and forget it, right? So that's why a lot of people like pellet grills, but you don't get the same smoky flavor that you get with a pellet grill as you do with like charcoal and stick burners or charcoal with wood chunks. So my grill is if you're watching sound. Oh, okay. So my grill is a gravity feed charcoal grill, which if you're not familiar with those, actually, you know what? I'm just taking my phone off the stand. It'll be easier. All right. So if you're not familiar with those, I'll show you what I mean. You get the best of both worlds. So that's the grill. It has a hopper, kind of like pellets, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, charcoal. I need to actually add some more charcoal in there. Charcoal and wood chunks. And then down here, there's an ash pan, and there's also a fan inside this thing, which there's an opening here, so that way it can control the temperature, and it burns just the bottom portion inside this big hopper, and then goes into the bottom and goes inside the grill. So you get way more smoke than you would if you got a pellet grill, which temperature is 174. So it's almost time for the wrap. So I'll be wrapping this thing up here soon. Yeah, Master Built's got one. That one's a char griller. Oklahoma Joe's just came out with their own gravity feed charcoal grill. Oh, thanks, Mike. It's a mess, but I mean, show you. You know what? I'll show you the projects I've been working on. Let me Oh, it fell off. All right, so this is my tool cart, which is definitely very helpful when it comes to building stuff because I got all my screws that I need when I build stuff. But you know, I don't know. Like most people have a bad habit of putting things away. But yeah, most of the screws that I need, tape measures. Some stuff under here if I'm using stuff at the time. You know, I got my nail gun, my sanding mat there that I put stuff on, but all my layout stuff is normally over here. All my pencils and knives are here most of the time. Got all my like drill bits and Phillips head, Torx, all those different kinds of things. Most stuff is all Phillips head. This is just like a random whatever screws I pull out or just need to throw something in here, and then all the different screws, and they're kind of labeled just so I know this whole row is 1.25 inch, most common that I use. But yeah, glue. It's a good little tool cart. Got it from Harbor Freight. But this is one project I've been working on right now. It's a nightstand in the what do you call it? Mid-century modern style. I need to do some final sanding and clean up all the glue marks that are still left, and put the face on, which is right here. So it'll be like this once it goes on. Put the bottom drawer, and it's all oak plywood with some banding on top, soft close drawers. Then on the top here's a tray. I got to make the face that's going to go in the front. It's going to have a little dip down for like grabbing it, and that's a shelf, pull-out shelf, also soft close. The main thing for this is they wanted to be able to put their CPAP on here and pull it out when they're using it, and then slide it in and have it go away. Up here on the top, you can kind of see the hole is going to be this power strip is going to go inside there. And then the thing I like about this one, I got to trim a little bit more because it's not fitting all the way in there, but it has power on the top and USB, and this is a fast charger for USB. But on the underside, it also has plugs, so that way the CPAP can be under here, or anything that they want under here, and the plugs can go right here because this will be coming through the bottom, so they can put the plugs into here and you won't see them. Then I got to add a little, I messed up right here, but I'm going to add a hole with a grommet, and the power cord is going to go through there, so you won't see any power cords inside this except for what's plugged underneath here on this tray, and that'll be plugged in under here. So that way you can still utilize the top of the nightstand. Use the top of the nightstand for whatever you want on there. And then I got this table that I'm working on. Fish over chicks. What's up, man? Yeah. Thanks. Doing a live drawing for Festool Domino giveaway. Raffle. But anyway, so this is the other project I'm working on. It's a table, a console table. I'm behind. I need to put a shelf down here. This right here is probably much harder than you would think to have just a slide out shelf. But here's the underside. Slides out here, and this stops it, and then it sits underneath here. This is some silk drawer slide tape to help keep this from rubbing the wood raw, and this whole thing is enclosed. There's one on that side. That took me quite a while to figure out how I'm going to do it, and then also to make sure that when there's stuff on here, it's not going to sag down, and then when you slide it in, it's not going to fall down inside here, because inside here is going to be drawers. So yeah, that was fun to try to figure out. Those are my two main projects right now. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. But yeah, that's My shop, you know what? I'll just do like I guess an impromptu shop tour, huh? But I'm gonna hit this one more time. Enter to win this Festool Domino. Tickets $17.76 each, and that's for both, not for one or the other. That's for both. Brand new, never used. I only turned it on to make sure that it worked when it came. Get all the different dominoes, all the different sizes, and the blades for those sizes. The warranty information is here along with the receipt, so you can get the warranty. So here's my wood storage. It's a little disorganized, but this is some not tongue and groove. Well, I guess it would be tongue and groove, but that's all sassafras up there. That when I was working at the cabinet shop, these were reject boards, so they were gonna throw them away. This is all cedar, some cedar fence pickets and red cedar, and then this is all walnut right here. Minus there's a couple pieces of oak, white oak back here. This is all mostly white oak, red oak. There's some other cutoffs. There's some mahogany stuff in here that I have. This is mostly all maple with some other pieces in here. And then this is all just kind of offcuts and whatever mess. And then I have some long oak and maple boards and cherry boards back here as well. My plywood's kind of right there. Offcuts. You know, it's a work in progress. It's a working shop. The plywood storage, I'll show you. This right here is what goes on top of the table. It's a display case. But all my plywood storage is right here. I got, you know, some UV maple, birch plywood, big piece of cardboard, some cutoffs, some of the cherry. This is the cherry that's going to be the shelf on the bottom. Some other, you know, stuff. This is, I think, Home Depot Lowe's plywood that I was going to use for building some, to build this out. I need to build a case. It's going to go all the way around this whole thing so that the plywood storage is like completely enclosed. And then I'm going to put a shelf so I can do like half offcuts on top and bottom. So, oh yeah, it's, you know, it's my shop, I guess. I'm really liking that new Bauer bandsaw. It's been pretty good for cross cutting. You know how you can tell when someone's busy? Like, look at this. It's all just junk, trash. Well, not trash, but you know, projects. This right here. These are really good. So those nightstands, the color that they would want it to match the existing stuff is difficult to find a matching color. So I got a bunch of those Jello shot containers, and I'm gonna take 2 or 3 different colors and mix them to make my own. And so I'm gonna have to write like a little chart, you know, and do like, let's say one, just for shits and just for simple math, 1 drop of, let's say, dark walnut, 1 drop of golden oak, 1 drop of mahogany or red mahogany, and then and then 2 drops of this and 1 drop of this and 1 drop of that, and then 2 drops, 1 drop, or 2 drops, 2 drops, 2. Like, go through and create a whole bunch of different ones to try to get the color just right, and then I can mix it. And that way, I'm going to use a syringe when I do it. So, like, you know, 1 mil, 1 mil, 1 mil, 2 mils, 1 mil, 1 mil, whatever, however I got to do it. Got to keep the ratios the same, and then that way, once I come up with the color on the sample boards, I'll know what it is, and then I can just make it in a much bigger quantity. Hope all that made sense. But that's what I do when I need to mix custom stains, because sometimes you want to stain something and like they want it to match an existing stain or something, and you don't know what was used, especially when it comes to like that cherry cabinet, the table I'm doing. Like, I need to match that, and I don't know what the original stain was they used. You know, it's not like they list that stuff on their website. And if they do, they might just say, "Oh, it was a dark cherry stain." Okay, well, that doesn't tell me anything. I know that the original furniture is made out of cherry, but it doesn't help me. So I've gotten I got a thing like antique cherry, and that was kind of close. Georgian cherry, and that was kind of close. So now I go back to the drawing board and figure it out what I can get the closest, and then have to put in just a little bit of different colors of stains to be able to try to get it as close as possible. But that cherry cabinet has also got a glaze over it, so I got to get the right color. Like I'll probably end up using like a ebony or true black, and then thin it out with some mineral spirits, and then that's kind of what I'm going to use for the glaze on it. It's not fun trying to match previous color stains on furniture because, like I said, you don't know what was used, so you're just like shooting in the wind trying to figure it out. So, Vineyard Farmhouse, how you doing? Thanks for subscribing. Fish over chicken, yeah, fish over chicks. You guys come out, man. You guys come out with all kinds of videos all the time. I'm pretty sure I commented my drawing on at least a couple of your videos, trying to get it out there. I'm not very big and popular, so um, getting it out there was what I needed to do. But I don't think I got out there as much. I reached out to some other big name, YouTubers to try to help me um, get the word out, and I really didn't get a lot of support, I guess you could say, from big name YouTubers. Reno with Ramon, that guy, he's pretty hilarious. I like his videos and his sarcasm. He put a link in or put a shout out in one of his videos about this drawing. So I really appreciate him and his channel and helping me out. But yeah, I've been thinking about doing another video here soon on whether or not I think woodworking is dead on YouTube. So I don't know what project I'm gonna use that. Like, I got to come up with what I want to say and like actually write a script or something like that, because I don't want it to just be on the fly, and I want it to sound a little bit more educated than just my brain and the TBI trying to put words and thoughts into sentences. But yeah, I got to finish the editing for building that cross flag case that I just did. I got to do the second part of that. That was a very, very what do you call it? Kind of an emotional build, I guess you could say. I really took to heart, what I was doing for that gentleman that passed and his family. Being military, I understand, like I said, what they're going through. So I wanted it to mean more than just a regular commission. So that was, it was an emotional build. And I pumped it out in 3 days during that heat wave that we had. So it was brutal. I think I lost probably a good 5 pounds, 10 pounds of sweat. Vineyard Farmhouse Wednesday night. I do open mic live. I walk all woodworkers and makers to come up on panel and promote their channel. Oh, cool. You should join Vineyards weekly and introduce yourself to the audience, man. Okay. Yeah. I'll reach out to you, or I guess after this, or you can reach out to me. My email is on my profile. It's Woodworking Warrior 1, the number 1 at Gmail. Which the reason why it's the number 1 is because Woodworking Warrior was already taken, and I came up with the name for this Woodworking Warrior years and years and years ago. Um, but I didn't really do anything with it. And then I looked online to see if anybody had it after I'd already made Facebook group and all, that stuff, a profile. And actually found out there is another Woodworking Warrior, but they haven't done anything since like, I don't know, 2015 or something like that. And they have a web page and everything, but I don't have an actual website. But I've been thinking about like if I should change my name or not, or let's see. Yeah, his most recent thing. Let's see. The last thing he did was 2021. 2021. So I went to Korea in 2021. You can help me with the website? Yeah, I thought about doing a website. I don't know. I was doing looking at the Squarespace or whatever it's called. Thing is I don't really advertise everything. Like I have a Google Maps. Like I'm on Google Maps, and I have reviews on there, and I post photos of all my work there, so people find me that way, which is how they found me to do the cross and flag case. They just Googled woodworkers because they wanted something that they knew couldn't just be done by somebody who only does like the laser and CNC type stuff and normal like plaques. They wanted something a little bit more special, like shadow box. Not that they couldn't do a shadow box, but they wanted something unique, and they knew that a woodworker would be somebody who could do it. And so when they looked up woodworkers, I was one of the top ones that came up, and they looked at my stuff. So I get a lot of like calls through Google, coming through Google and Google Maps, um, and I direct them to my Facebook page on there, and then they communicate with me via Facebook. So, um, or through text or phone. So I get stuff that way. I don't really know what I would sell. Like I don't have inventory. I don't have inventory of anything that I make in like batch things out. Everything I make is to order. So like the cherry table and the nightstands, the cross, like all that stuff is just made to order. They reach out to me, see if they want anything. I do this kind of part time on my own in my shop here. I don't really do it full time. I need to get more disciplined in coming out here, but I need to get a mini split because it's so damn hot out here, and I need to get the rest of this insulation up. I was trying to get it done before the summer, but I just wasn't able to. And I think once I get all the insulation up, it'll be a lot easier in here. And then once I get a mini split in here, it'll be a lot more comfortable. So I'll be more inclined to want to come in here and actually maybe like batch some things out and try to sell them on marketplace. But the thing is like out where I live, out the majors, blah 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 blah. The most closest city is Clarksville, Tennessee, which is an hour north of Nashville. Between Nashville and Clarksville, there is a shit ton of woodworkers that do the batching of like cutting boards and planters, and anytime you know like Fish Over Chicks comes out with something, or Matthew Peach, or any of these other like any of the other like YouTubers that make stuff to sell, um, within that day or the next day, the market here is like got all those things out there for sale, which is good for them. You know, I'm not shitting on anybody for coming up with stuff to sell, um, but for me to try to get into that as well, like to me, it's just not worth it. So all my stuff is unique and different and not mass marketed. I guess you could say it's all just um, made to order to custom specifications. I guess you could say. Let's see. What state am I in? Oh yeah, I'm in Kentucky. I mentioned that outside Hopkinsville, Kentucky. A small town called Fairview, surrounded by Amish. It's a big Amish community out here with a few of us English, as they call us. So plans. I don't. I kind of talked about that earlier, like doing the um, what's it called? The 3D modeling stuff, CAD. Um, Goddamn TBI brain. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, the different programs to create it, something in a 3D and then sell it. I don't really know how to use it very well or come up with plans. So everything I do, I can show you is on graph paper. So like the cross and stuff, I do it all on graph paper and it's all to scale. I have one of those, drafting rulers, the three-sided, whatever you call it. And so I do it all to scale. When I was in high school, I took drafting, and they gave us these little blocks, and we had to do the front view, side view, top view, and if there was a recess anywhere, we had to do like the dotted lines of where it was. We had to measure it, and then our teacher would come up and check our stuff to make sure that it was at proper scale, and then also that it was accurate. And he So I learned a lot how to do that through that, and it was interesting. But I just never continued with that because it was only in my there wasn't any like follow-on stuff to it, and I really didn't have the opportunity or the means to go to college. As soon as I was of age, 18, I had to move out of my parents' home, well, my mom's home. My dad wasn't around anymore at that point, and so I didn't really have the means or opportunity to go to college to continue doing that kind of stuff. So I just lived on my own for a long time. Well, not for a long time, until 9/11, and then shortly after 9/11, in 2003, I joined the Army because growing up in Vegas, like there's the tourism industry tanked after 9/11. My job was dissolved, and so they gave me another position that was like $4 less an hour, and I kept that for a while, but I couldn't make my bills, and then trying to find a new job was near impossible. So I just joined the Army and got out of Vegas, and it was the best decision I made at the time because 20 years later, here I am, and I'm doing okay. You might know the information shit ton of woodwork. Scan that and change it into digital prints. Oh, I didn't know anything about that. Yeah, everything I draw. I wonder if my other book is in here. Yeah, so I have this little binder book, and this is what I started drawing stuff on before I realized that this is too small. So I wanted to build a raised dog feeder, and so this is, like I said, this is how I drew it out on graph paper. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So like, it's all there. The information's there. It doesn't show all the joinery and stuff like that, but for me it works. And then let's see. I tried to make some pattern stuff, for the decor. That was trying to sell some of that stuff. I didn't really like selling that stuff. Trying to see, most of this other stuff is just. Then I have like ideas for like like candy corn and pumpkin and how I was gonna make those. I never really did. It's more for my wife. blanket ladder farm shelf. And then this is my, so this is an idea I haven't built yet for washer and dryer. That's going to be a pretty massive build whenever I get to it. This is my process. I just draw stuff out and then try to figure out how I'm going to build it and put it together from there. Then I drew this bottom page here. Is how I wanted my miter station to look, with my, or I should say, that wall over there. And so I drew a lot of this stuff out. Just a concept right now. Eventually I'll get there. So I don't know. My brain works this way, I guess. And then I was trying to figure out the layout of my shop with the wood storage and like the cabinet wall that I did miter station, and it's to scale ish. You know, it's pretty close. I don't obviously have it laid out this way, but let's see. What else I got in here? Just a bunch of notes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really do a whole lot in this anymore. And then I went from this to another book. Which I don't know where it's at right now. Let's see, is it over here? No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know that thing. But yeah, I went to another book that was bigger, and then now I just got pads of graph paper that I have inside of a enclosable clipboard. How far am I from? Hold on, let me go back to these comments. How far are you from Lynchburg, Ohio? I have no idea. Chris Harder, Venmo. All right, let me get do some math with that one. I'm not a fucking math genius. Six, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm just checking all the my stuff real quick. CashApp, Venmo, PayPal, the Give Butter. Check to see who anybody has bought any more tickets. Chris H, I got your stuff. I'll log back in. All right, on to the comments. Oh yeah, Lynchburg, Ohio. Lynchburg, Ohio. Lynchburg, Ohio is starting point. Yeah, that's home. Just under 5 hours. Okay, that's over there by Cincinnati, like that. Cool. I was looking at retiring somewhere between Cincinnati and Columbus, or Cleveland area before I retired from the army, but I ended up staying here just because I like the area. And we found the house that had the shop, which for me, this building, the shop, 30 by 30, was the selling point for me, along with it being on a 1 acre plot, the house being big enough for me and my kids, and having it's 4 bedrooms. So I have one bedroom as just my office, and then there's a large utility room that has the HVAC unit in it, but it's basically like a really tiny bedroom without a closet. So it's not a bedroom because there is no closet. It's just a utility room. And my wife uses that to store her stuff that she does. She likes to go to thrift stores and she'll find stuff and then she'll sell it on Poshmark, or she doesn't have an Etsy page. I keep trying to push her to do it, but um, I know Etsy's kind of not the all the hype, I guess you could say, isn't there anymore. But she sells stuff on Poshmark, and she's thinking about setting up like an eBay store, so she might do that. But she has all her stuff in there that she's been getting ready to try to sell. Um, she just needs a little push. Let me see. Your brain works fine, brother. Now we just need the adapter jack that plugs it in. Oh yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. Yeah, the I think being out here is definitely good for me transitioning to the civilian world. I've been out. I retired February of 24, so a little over a year, and I did have a job um, at one cabinet shop, and the shop manager, had a little bit of a temper anger problem, and he one day he got mad because he was moving the pallet jack and there was some wood in the way because the shop was cluttered. It was too small for the amount of business they were doing, and that, so it was tight, it was cluttered, which is fine because they were pumping out, good stuff, a good amount of stuff, and he hit a piece of wood with the pallet jack and then got really mad and just started kicking the shit out of the wood that I was cutting to make rails and stiles after sending them through the shaper for some shaker style drawer fronts and doors and drawers. And he got really mad and he was just kicking the pile of wood, and then he kind of like kicked part of the miter saw station and it kind of threw some stuff out of whack. And I was like, dude, that's not healthy. And then there were times where he went out to take measurements. He built stuff for his measurements, knowing that some stuff was too big, and would tell us before we left, like, it's probably gonna be a little too big, so you're going to cut it down to make it fit inside wherever. Well, when you make things a little too big and you know that it's not going to fit, but then you call us like 4 hours later, like, hey, where are you? What are you doing? Well, we literally had to take some things apart to cut it, to put it back together, to get it to fit. So you were the one that was making the problems and making us take longer for us, and yet you were getting upset at us for taking our time trying to get things to fit properly. So I was not happy with that environment, and then so I transitioned to another cabinet shop that was, and that first one was like 45 minutes away, driving through Clarksville traffic, and I hated that. So this other one was really close. It's like 15 minutes from here, and they're a much larger shop as far as space is concerned. They're very busy. They turn down work. They do a good assortment of residential and commercial cabinetry, and so I learned a lot of doing like laminate and commercial stuff, and then also the residential. And they're just a small family. I was the only employee that was not blood related to the family, and so they're good people, but they just didn't talk. There was no human connection. I would sit at the lunch table, and they would literally be sitting at the same table, and no one would say a word, not one single word to each other, and that's just awkward to me. And so I after a while, I started to get into my own head, and I was like, I can't work here if I'm always in my head, and shit that I don't want to remember keeps popping up. So because there's no human interconnection, there's no conversation, there was nothing else to kind of keep my mind busy other than just doing the repetitive work. So I ended up leaving that shop, and I just decided at that point that I'm just going to start working for myself on my own. And I'm not there with volume as far as like constant money coming in. Projects take me. I've had these nightstands for a while, but that's because trying to match colors is a lot more difficult. I've had this cherry cabinet or cherry table that I'm working on way longer than I should have. I'm on month 4 now. Um, but that's because, like I said, if it gets super hot in here, I don't want to come in here. I deal with depression, so I was depressed for like 2 weeks about a whole bunch of stuff, and so like I didn't want to do anything. And if you watch my last video, my fucking back is, I'm sitting right now, so it's not too bad, but my back is pretty messed up. Um, you know, rucking all the time, being deployed, walking everywhere, IED blast, like it's just, it does a lot to your body. And so some days I wake up and I just don't want to come in the shop because my body hurts. So it takes me a while to do stuff, which is why I don't really batch things out, because I always have projects that I need to get done. They take me a while. But I'm also very methodical and very detail oriented. And I think I put more into it than what customers appreciate, because they don't see it unless they're actually a woodworker and they can see the detail that I'm doing. To them, it just looks, like a piece of furniture if it's just a normal person. Um, like brad nail holes. Most people that are in the general public don't care about brad nail holes. To them, it's just the way it is because that's how it was built. To me, I don't want to see the brad nail holes. I don't want to see pin nail holes. I don't want to see visible screws. So I make things more complicated, I think, for myself and challenge myself. But at the same time, I consider that learning as part of what I'm gaining by doing their project, if that makes sense. And so that kind of helps me grow my skills and capabilities to where I can eventually become one of those people that does fine woodworking and can have a customer base that's willing to pay, $5,000, $3,000, over $1,000 for something. You know what I mean? Because I know personally that I am undercharging for what I'm giving, but that also depends on the market and what people are willing to pay. And so that's a thin line, trying to get from like, I don't have, I would say, low end clientele, because when they ask me to do something and I give them the price, if they don't like it, then they don't respond back. If they're okay with it, so somebody like, middle class, I guess you could say, they're willing to pay a little bit more for the stuff, and they kind of understand the value of handmade furniture that's going to last. So they're willing to pay a little bit more, but I don't have that super high end clientele. I'm trying to work to that, I guess you could say. Hopefully I'll be there one day. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at in this journey of woodworking. It's therapy. The other thing is I have this idea of wanting to, let's see, woodworking is my therapy. And I want to give that to other combat vets like myself, because working with your hands rests your mind. I think it was Whit Works that said that his therapist told him that, and I definitely agree with that. And so I would like to get combat vets to come here to hang out once a month and just shoot the shit, sip on some bourbon, and build a project. And then over the course of however many months, we finish that project and then put it up for auction to then support the shop by buying more wood, buying more supplies, buying better tools, whatever the shop needs in order to complete these projects that the vets are building. And, or we pitch together and we build, like, you know, say someone needs a new set of cabinets in their bathroom. Then we, as the group of vets, will build some new cabinets. You know, everybody pitches in to give to that other vet that is also part of the group. That's kind of like what I would like to get to, and maybe make it a nonprofit. But I think being on my own property is going to be a headache. So I'm pretty sure in order to do that, I will probably have to get some kind of commercial building in order to run that out of, as well as it just be my own shop and building stuff there myself. So I think that's kind of what I want to work towards the next 5 years. Right now, it's just in the stage of an idea. I haven't put it out there. I put it out there kind of in some videos, but I haven't put it out there to the public near me. And because Fort Campbell is right there, the military base, so I know I'll always have a constant rotation of people. And then a lot of vets retire around their last duty station. So there's older vets that are here. And there's vets that, you know, like I said, they do the woodworking where they batch out planters and shelves and, you know, whatever other projects YouTube woodworkers come out with, and the Christmas decor and the spring stuff. So I think if they would like to come here to learn how to do a little bit more advanced stuff than just doing pocket holes, then I can help them do that, and we can learn and grow this, like, you know, vet community. And I think that's kind of my goal. That's what I want to do. And I liked being an instructor, like when I was teaching, but I don't have any certifications. I don't have a college education to teach, so I can't go to like the community college and teach carpentry. Maybe after I get the certification from the community college, I might be able to go in and teach part-time. I don't know. But anyway, that's enough of me babbling on. Maxed out PT, so I was kind of big. They'd hear soldier and had to have a hard line. I should write checks with them. Yeah. Definitely know the feeling too, Mike. Oh, 577, yeah. Those things, yep. I had a 577 in Korea and 113s. It's 11, almost 11:40, so 20 more minutes. See how many. Anybody else gets tickets? I don't think anybody else is going to. Appreciate everybody who has so far. I really do. It means a lot to me. Like I said, if you watched the video about how this Festool thing ended up, I was hoping I was going to break even. I knew potentially I would not, which is fine. You know, I consider it part of growing my channel, I guess you could say, and getting my name out there. I'm glad it cost, but I think you're going to be in good with the tribe. Tribe? So the reason I just said tribe after you said it, I went, before I got out for my PTSD, I went to inpatient therapy in San Antonio at a place called Laurel Ridge, and everybody there that I was with were all combat vets. So they had like different sections. Some were there for sexual trauma, some were there for PTSD, combat trauma only, and then there was civilian trauma groups. And the combat trauma group that I was with, I was really surprised when I got there. There was a lot of special forces dudes in there. I mean, a lot of dudes, and Rangers. And they were all kind of towards the end of their careers, like I was, and all said the same thing. You do all these years of combat, and then you get close to retirement. you start to slow down, and all the trauma and all the shit that we buried for all those years just suddenly starts to come back, and it becomes hard to deal with. And so a lot of those dudes were there, and just like me, felt disappointed with ourselves because we couldn't handle it. But being around all those dudes and just sharing stories and talking, we called ourselves the tribe. And anytime somebody yelled or said that they were thankful for the tribe, everybody in the group, tribe, and it just became a thing. Because it really is like a tribe, and you really do take care of each other. And there's a difference between just a regular veteran and a combat veteran, at least when it comes to people who are combat arms. Because you can be a combat vet that is, a personnel clerk, S1. You can be a combat vet that is a cook. There's times where those soft MOSs, they call them, specialty MOSs, they do sometimes get engaged either in convoys going from one place to another, or their fob gets attacked. And so, like, the potential is there. But dudes like myself that went outside the wire almost every day and got into firefights, it's a whole different group of people in that tribe. So, but I'm glad that I had the opportunity to go and get help before I got out and continue doing this woodworking stuff. So, it's been a journey. That's sorry. It's been a journey, that's for sure. Illustration. I know you made quite a few purchase tickets. Man, freaking TBI, man. Purchased a few tickets. What is it that you do besides illustration as part of your name? If you're still here, doesn't say who's watching. I don't know how to see who's watching by names. Well, 11:45, almost. Oh shit! I gotta wrap the brisket. Let me do that. I don't want it to be dry. Well, now you guys are gonna get to watch me wrap a brisket because I need to get that done. Put some paper down, just bring it in here. Well, I'm going to put it on and get it in the shop. I don't think that's going to be enough paper. know you guys can't see me. This brisket looks wonderful. All right. Probe out. Oh yeah, that's gonna be delicious. Ow, that's hot. Oh, my people fell on the ground. Look at that brisket though. Oh, that's all right. This part's up. Oh man, that smells delicious. One more. There we go. All right, and then turn it up. There we go. All right. Oh, the brisket is going to be so delicious. Oh, what? It is beeping out there. There we go. All right. Almost time to announce the winner. Let's see who's going to win here. Again, thank you everybody for participating and entering. Oh yeah, that brisket looks good, huh? Oh, 3 dots on top of the chat and click participants. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't know much about all this stuff. Still learning. Still learning. Andrew Ranger, is this still happening? Yes. Try to buy a ticket and it says the event is in it. Happy for you can still buy a ticket. You can purchase. You can send me money directly through Venmo, CashApp. Here, I'll copy and paste. There you go. You can send me money that way. Tickets are $17.76 each. So however many tickets you want to purchase times $17.76. My video feed, Mike, go away. Oh, shh. I'm a dummy. It's facing my. It was facing my. I think so. Oh yeah, there we go. Bam. Andrew Ranger, if you're still there, let me know where you're going to be sending the ticket entry, whether CashApp, Venmo, or PayPal, so I can check and then get you your name put on the. 10 minutes. 10 minutes to win a domino. Mike, man, thanks for hanging around. Same thing with illustration. Thank you guys for hanging out and spending some time with me on this 4th of July. Hope you guys have a good 4th of July. I know mine's going to be very tasty because that brisket looks delicious, and I can't wait to eat some of that. Going to a friend's house for a party, some fireworks. They live out in the country too, so I'm going to blow it up on a street and it'll be a good day. Oh, looks like we only got 2 people here left. I'll have to, when I get some more time, Mike, I'll have to check out your videos and give you some watch hours. A lot of times, what I do is when I'm in my shop, I just put my TV on a channel, like someone like yourself, and I just let it play in the background. I may not be paying attention to it. I might be paying attention to it sometimes, but I just let it play and get people's watch hours up. That way they can get the watch hours and whenever I'm doing stuff, I don't stop to click through the commercials. So all the commercials end up playing. So I'm sure that helps out people's channels some way or another, even through watch hours or watching all the commercials. The live tonight, yeah, yeah. What time was that? I'll have to look back up there. I'll probably still be at my friend's house. 21:30. Yeah, I'll probably be drunk. uh, there's my email address. Just next time you go live or whatever, wanna want me to join or whatever, just let me know. Send me. I'll also keep track of your channel, but who's the other guy that was talking about bringing stuff? Vineyard Farmhouse. Vineyard Farmhouse. Look him up. Subscribe. Vineyard Farmhouse. Okay. It's got some nice videos there too. Awesome. I will do my damnedest not to go 3 sheets. Don't count on it. Don't wait up for me. I'll either be in a meat sweat coma or drunk. Hopefully, with all fingers not burned and intact. It'll be fun. I like 4th of July. I may or may not have, not this time, but in the past, at one point in time, I may or may not have tactically acquired and redistributed some smoke grenades, party round simulators, and grenade simulators, and scared some people on my street at one point, and smoked them out because army smoke grenades are a lot of smoke. It's a lot of fun. New best friend. Hey, I keep my. I'm sure you're just like me, and you keep your circle small with quality and not quantity. So, welcome. I will be glad to be welcomed. 11:57. All right, it's almost about that time. Let's see who's gonna win. Bring this around this way. It's a picture and a picture and a picture. Let me see. Set this camera up better. Oh. Let's go. Yep. Here's the names. I'm gonna shuffle them 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Let's see. I don't think anyone's gonna enter in the next 30 seconds. But let's just do one last check. Oh, Andrew Ranger. Let's get your name in here. We made it just in time. Andrew. Now I'm just gonna shuffle again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I got 20 seconds. That clock is wrong. Florida Bearded Woodworker. What a name. Did you let's see. Did you gotta make sure everybody's good before nothing there. That one's already done. Done. Ranger Ranger, yep. Okay, that's everybody. Get ready. Here we go. Adam F. Whoever Adam F is. Oh. All right, so whoever Adam F is, Adam F, you are the winner. Adam F. All right, I will send you an email. I'll send you an email there, Adam F, and get your contact information. I hope everybody has a good 4th of July. Thank you for everybody who supported this venture of mine by purchasing tickets, whether you won or not. Obviously, well, there's only one winner that won, but thank you so much to the other guys that really supported this by buying and purchasing tickets. I hope you guys all have a 4th of July that is fun and safe. Nobody's property or house or home, any of that stuff catches on fire, because that'd be a horrible 4th of July. Hope everybody so stay safe. All right, make sure you got fire extinguishers or hoses nearby when you're playing with fireworks. Roman candle wars are fun, but they can be dangerous. Yeah, again, thanks to everybody. I hope you guys have a good day, a good weekend, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. So, been raining all day here. Well, that's good. Nothing can burn down then. And Mike, like I said, I'll check out your channel and comment on some of your videos and stuff. Illustration, I'll check out your channel too, see what you got. But yeah, all right, I gotta get some other stuff ready. Got some mac and cheese to make for this party I'm going to. Make sure that brisket is good. Pull it off here in a couple hours and rest it. Like I said, thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, to everybody who's supported this so far. And like I said, I'll see you on the next video. So good to meet you too. All right, have a good day. Peace out.